Alan, it's a bleak picture.
Before we get to the dams, just one quick one. So, Bowen wants to make net zero emissions a reality by 2030, demonise fossil fuels. What happens to Australia?
Bankruptcy. I mean, there is no alternative to that, Alan. I happen to be, believe it or not, in the field of solar energy. I put the first standalone system in Australia way back in 1983. I think we won the Major Science Prize in that year. The head of General Electric, the biggest company of its type in the world, came out from America for the opening ceremony. We were one of the first in the world. I mean, these things happen very, very rapidly. But it is not CO2 neutral. You burn up an enormous amount of CO2 in producing that pure glass. Remember, Alan, my background is in mining. You know, I was digging copper out of the ground in my own mines and selling it. I always regarded myself. So, I mean, I know that the enormous amount of money in processing that silicon to pure silicon and the enormous amount of energy that you're burning up and CO2 you're putting into the atmosphere, they say it's 10 to 1. It's nothing like 10 to 1. It might be 3, and that'd be all it would be. But, I mean, in 20 years' time, by the time this great, wonderful scheme of Mr. Bowen goes ahead and Madam Palaszczuk in Queensland go ahead, most of your solar panels will need to be replaced. They only last for 20 years.
It. And then that's it. And they'll be gone. They'll be gone. They'll be gone, and the mess will be left to our kids. Let's go to dams. Scott Morrison went to Townsville in March this year to announce a $5.4 billion investment in the Hells Gate Dam project. Barnaby Joyce told you the dam would be built to 395 metres, a height that would water Townsville and get water onto the Western Plains of Queensland west of Hughenden. Scott Morrison announced the $5.4 billion. The Albanese government has now reneged. What do you say?
I had the balance of power, Alan. One was a small but very important project, a small weir in Charters Towers. I think the most vital one, strangely enough, is Hughenden on the Flinders River, the 6th biggest river in Australia. It drains 1/5 of the surface area of Queensland. But Hells Gate, I mean, I don't have to tell you about Bradfield. It is the dream of the Australian people to take the water where it rains all of the time. My main electoral office is in Innisfail, and it never stops raining in Innisfail. The next door in Babinda have the highest rainfall in Australia, some of the higher rainfalls in the world. Now, we just take a little bit of that water and send it out west, and to quote Bradfield, Girrawhina, a land of flowers.